Hi guys, I'm still shooting from Florida. I got out kind of early in the morning before all the noise happens down here. It seems like right around noon everything starts to get loud, so it's easier to record. So anyway, in deciding what subject I wanted to cover today, I kind of got this idea from a Miranda Lambert song. And the subject of the video might be strange for a guy to be covering, but I'm just sort of trying to show you that actually even we guys can see these things on a certain level, that it's on the subject of how difficult it can be for a woman to be beautiful. And I don't mean to make yourself up to be beautiful. I mean like if you're naturally beautiful, however we define that, when a woman is beautiful, we tend to know that. And the challenges that go along with that. And, having owned the dance studio for 20 years and been involved with many women, talking with so many women, and just seeing how females process the world, it's somewhat different than the way we guys do. But, I came to understand just from talking with a lot of people, just to see how difficult it can be to be beautiful. Like there are pros and cons to everything, let's put it that way. And though most of us would prefer to have a certain measure of fame, there are costs that come along with that, and we're generally willing to pay that price, but there are still costs, and that's what I'm talking about here. It's preferable in one sense. I mean, most of us would say we'd love to be beautiful, of course, but there are challenges to that, and this is all I'm doing is to sort of alert you to some of the things that I've observed as a guy in conversing with women over the years. And just from thinking things through. Sometimes if you just think things through and you think, all right, well, even though I'm not part of that particular class or group that I'm talking about, I can kind of see just sort of rationally or logically or just looking to see that there are challenges. So, Miranda Lambert, back to her song, she's got a song titled Being Pretty Ain't Pretty. And you could YouTube that because it's a fairly popular song. But, that song just speaks to what I'm speaking to, which is that it's pretty hard to be a pretty woman. And there are challenges. So, people, when you're beautiful to the eye, it can be difficult for, let's say guys to look beyond that. It can even be beautiful for women to look beyond that, of course. Because, you're beautiful. So it can be difficult. Like if you're very intelligent and beautiful, it's hard for people to get to know you. It can be hard for a guy, for instance, to get to know you, to look past the beauty, which is, in a sense, we'll say that that's shallow, but it's very real for, a beautiful woman to have guys look beyond the beauty and see you for who you are. It's a wonderful thing when a guy does do that, but, people sort of expect certain things from you, and you can sort of buy into that from a young age. If you're beautiful from a very young age, let's say middle school, and you're getting this attention and all that, you can kind of buy into the need to uphold a certain image or level of beauty because that's just who you are. That's who you've come to expect yourself to be, based on how other people have viewed you. But that is a challenge. It's a challenge for you to even see yourself just, as you are. Okay, you've got physical beauty, great, but you might be a very kind person. You might be a thoughtful person. You might be a scientist. You might be all these different other things that make you who you are, and that your beauty doesn't define you. But so frequently, beauty does define us. And for a woman, that is a very challenging thing. So guys, if you're watching this, just sort of try to develop some sensitivity to it. If you happen to be married to a beautiful woman or dating a beautiful woman or want a beautiful woman, let's say, she's got some challenges that she's dealing with in her own life. So, getting attention has advantages and disadvantages. Like, for instance, let's say, you're a beautiful girl, the subject of this video, and, you attract attention from guys. But you also, that's a good thing, generally speaking. It's like, that's a good thing. But you also attract attention from the wrong guys. And, you know, it's easy to get hurt that way too. So, you know, people might be looking for your flaws, sort of like famous people, you know. The newspapers love to point out your flaws and the things that have gone wrong in your life, sort of build you up to knock you down. And on perhaps a lesser scale, but the same principle, it's not uncommon for people to want to see like really beautiful people have something wrong with them. I don't, personally speaking. I'm like, wow, if you're beautiful, good for you, you know? I mean, because you have your own challenges. But, you know, people aren't necessarily trying to get to know you for who you are when you're beautiful. It can be difficult for people to look beyond the beauty to seeing who you really are in your heart, to seeing who you really are in your mind. And that's a real challenge. So, and then there's jealousy. You know, some folks just might be jealous of you because you're beautiful. And it's like, wow, I just came out of my mother's womb a certain way and society defines me as beautiful, but that's not who I am. It's part of who I am or how I am, but, and that could be painful, you know, to not be seen or known as you are. Famous folks have that same issue. They rarely get to be known as they are because people know them as a, you know, musician or as an athlete or an actress or whatever their occupation is. So that's just something to be aware of. You know, this world is hard to live in. And if we can sort of see the fuller picture of things, that believe it or not, rich and famous people have problems too, and they're very real to them. Beautiful people, beautiful women have problems too. Some of them are associated with their beauty. So even though we might prefer to be beautiful, most of us would say, oh yes, I would love to be beautiful. There are challenges that go along with that. It isn't all, you know, roses, as they say. So anyway, that's just something to be aware of. Anyway, guys, if you would, subscribe to my channel, and I hope maybe I'll see you on my website, and have a great day. I'll see you on another video. Bye, guys.